welcome to beIN Sports and welcome to Agadir. This is the Africa Cup of Nations 2025 and we're getting ready for this match between Cameroon and Gabon. This is Group F action. Everything is set, so don't go anywhere. We're coming back with all the action on beIN Sports.
Power your moment. Techno, the global partner of AFCON 2025.
Welcome back to Agadir. Welcome back to Morocco. This is the Africa Cup of Nations, and this is Denis Bouanga, one of the best players for Gabon. Unfortunately for them, they have not been very effective. 5 total shots, but not even 1 shot on target. On the other side, Cameroon with 6 total shots, 2 of them on goal, and 54. That was a ball possession for Cameroon, 46 for Gabon. So the team that is winning actually is being a little bit better, but this is not over, and we already know that in this kind of tournaments, in this kind of games, anything can happen. So Gabon will be trying to turn the situation around. Let's see if they can make it. But we are getting ready, and looks like we don't have substitution for the next 45 minutes. Don't forget that Gabon already made it 2. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Mario Lemine, they are already on the bench. Bakoum was out in Overland, the same for Gabon. And this is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, one of the most experienced players on the field, 36 years old. He's playing in Olympique Marseille. You can watch all the games of Olympique Marseille right here on beIN Sports in the Ligue 1. And Pierre-Emerick, still a very, very talented player. And now we're only waiting for the ref to say we are ready for the next 45 minutes. Interesting players that we have on the bench. And actually, yes, we have a substitution. So Barleva is out, and Giannonana, the one from Genoa, is now on the field.
Who's just going to come straight into that position. There's a chance here for Gabon right from the very start, as Denis Bouanga is the player who was just trying to wrestle himself away from the Camerooni defenders. Gabon need to get possession, need to bide their time and keep it away from these dangerous Cameroon players, because they've got quality, haven't they, Amanda? They've got the chance, they've got plenty of scope and ability to actually prise open that Cameroon defence. The fact is that they're being closed down quite quickly in that midfield area.
Yep, they need to start finding the spaces. They want to keep locating Openda, who is a reference. He's an outlet immediately once they get the ball possession. But because Cameroon are playing with the wing backs, it becomes very difficult for him to get ball possession. So they need to try and play in between the lines, forcing them into the midfield, which is quite congested.
Yeah, and I think that they're, you know, it's they look very well organised, Cameroon at the back, but the moment that they get a jumper is the moment that you've got to strike. You've got to expose that space. You've got to get inside of there, and it all comes down to the midfield and the way that they move that. But they do have the likes of this man who's getting on the end of it, and as Aubameyang trying to get himself a little bit of space. The danger is there, and diffusing the scenario on that occasion is Dallin Yongwa.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no defense that doesn't have mistakes. And that's why you want to have the likes of Aubameyang, who can pounce and punish on these mistakes.
Oh, big time. Does it is for his day job. There's the shot going over the top. It's easily taken there by Epassi. And Roger Epassi, 6'2", Dynamo Bucharest player, now playing his 11th match for Cameroon. Over on the right-hand side, lots of Gabon supporters here, of course, and I think that the locals are getting a little bit behind them as well. Dealt with at the back by Jack Ikumiye. And a clash there just to bring down Andre Poko. He's wily, isn't he, Poko? Like the way that he just flies off and races down that left side. This is based in Turkey, playing for Ahmed SK. That was a bit of a journeyman, played in Saudi Arabia and Croatia for East.
Yeah, he's probably going to have to get stuck in. It's going to be a little bit much more combative in the second half.
Yeah, but they've lost one of their biggest dangers, of course, Cameroon. Not just as a defender, but also as a midfielder, but also as a defender, because he's tucked in front of Koto, isn't he, Carlos Baleba? And he has been, you know, pivotal in all of those battles when they actually get the ball down the flanks and through the middle area. As Mbumo picks the ball up, little acceleration there, shows a little bit too much to the ball. Dealt with there at the back by the ever dangerous Kwele Manga. Gets the ball back though and tries to get it back across. Again, it's the centre back and stalwart frame of Bruno Kwele Manga who clears again. Well, captain by name, captain by nature. We won't give him Marvel comic status just yet, Amanda, but he's getting there.
I mean, after 100 or so caps, he surely is a marvel to watch in terms of just the experience and the calm and composure that he brings into that back four. And this is the physical battle we're certainly going to see. Very combative in those duels. That is Gabon and Cameroon.
Yeah, 110th cap. There's the free kick. Cleared, and Bobo with the touch. Great opportunity here. Goal number 2 doesn't come for Junior Chamadou. But how about the vision there from the Manchester United man, Mbumo? He saw it outside of the left foot, into the path of Chamadou, the Stoke City man, and able to rifle the ball past the goalkeeper. It goes wide of Luis Mbaba's goal. A head in the hands moment there, of course, for David Pagu.
Yeah, Mbuma does exceptionally well just to slip that ball through. Chimendu with a beautiful run. I think he just saw his name in the lights. He should have just punched it, thumped it very hard, go for that top corner. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, but completely misses the target.
Aubameyang gets it back. Calm composure. Here he goes on a little bit of a wander here. Gets inside, thwarted by a trio of indomitable lions. There you go. Outnumbered in the feline department. 3 lions against 1 panther. Yeah.
That's it. Cameroon have just been exceptional in terms of just hunting together and making sure that they close those passing lines for Gabon, making it very difficult to string those passes in that midfield.
Well, again, stalwart action there from the Gabon defence, but they give away an easy ball as it's picked up there again. Eta Young unable to just sneak the ball past his player, dispossessed. Nicely done, great ball. It's gone a little bit too far. Goalkeeper Passy comes out and slams it up into the stands. As Bouango is racing and darting and sneaking towards him. 6 minutes in, Gabon into the second half. Gabon looking a little bit dangerous on attack, but they need to, again, just keep that ball in the midfield and just wait for that right pass. There you go, that's the new edition of this football here. It'll treat football. It's all about ambition and the light and the pursuit of excellence, of course. We've also got the mascot, Assad, who's here somewhere tonight. We'll probably get him in shot at one point. And here go Gabon on the attack. Oh, that's a stiff challenge there. It's been passed across, but cleared again just in front of the penalty box. And Bomo gets the ball out. They move forward. High ball over the top, it's very dangerous indeed. Bobo going to latch onto that. Brave work there from Mbaba, comes out, deals with it. Now Gabon on the attack. Plenty of players in space as the Cameroon midfielders come back into position. No jumpers, no space just yet. Aubameyang trying to get back into position, racing up into the penalty box and looking to try and get that response. Doesn't get the right pass from that left-hand side. And you can see that Mario was trying to just pick him out and send him on his way, but the interpretation and the synergy wasn't happening there.
Becomes very difficult as well to try and thread that ball through with so many bodies in front. But then you have to play it. Just trust that Aubameyang is going to get to it.
Listen, he's got nothing to prove, is he? Aubameyang picked up down this left side as they go working their magic once again, as just possessed. The Gabon defence doing the job there. It's a little getting tangled up. You can just see there's a little bit of a pushing and shoving there. And Dalin Yongwa on Openda. He's been given a bit of a rough ride, isn't he, in this encounter, just in the way that he's been, getting tangled up and brought down and dealt with there. Of course, we saw Tolo Nuhu giving him a run for his money on a couple of occasions. Nice little touch, couldn't control, couldn't take it forward. Cameroon pick it up. Bumo protects it well, lofts the ball over the top. It's gone a little bit too far and easily taken there by Mbaba. Very cool player at the back, Bruno Ekwele Manga. That's a good ball over to the left-hand side, kept in, but I don't think he realised that he could actually get to it, Dennis Boanga. And the ball passed back to his goalkeeper. I think it's the longest lull in activity that we've actually had in this game. But it's going to come to an end, of course. And Mbuma picks it up just in front, puts it on his left foot. There's a great shot, and it's pushed away there by Mbaba. And that's going to be a throw-in for Gabon. What a great thumping drive that was from the Manchester City man. He puts it on his left foot, trying to curl it around. A great save from Mbaba. Dropped into the penalty box and forced to make a clearance there, Tolo Nuhu. And the pressure there coming from Openda, who's got the pace.
Yep, he's got the pace. Gabon really need to start turning the defensive line of Cameroon to face their own goalkeeper, finding those spaces in behind.
Aubameyang, you get this back. First ball, first touch, getting the ball back across. Nicely tidied up there by Ndong. And over to the left-hand side. It's a wild pass, that really was. And it just easily picks up there in the midfield there by Namaso. Namaso gets it back again. Now they've got options. And Mbomo's making a run, tries to go for it. Needed to hold it. I think that the timing was off the moment that he literally lifted his head up and tried to thread the ball through there from Junior Chamadu. But it does take a touch, and of course they will get the chance to fire this into the penalty box and try and get a second goal 11 minutes into this Group F clash, the last clash of the first round of action. We've seen everybody. We've seen every team play so far. There's the delivery. Goes over the top. Oh, the pace. I love it, keeping that ball in play. Great work to come across. And Nuhu, just no-nonsense defensive coverage, isn't it? I love the way that he plays. The Seattle Sounders player, playing in the MLS, and of course coming up against Dennis Boanga, who plays for Los Angeles. Takes a touch. Gabon clear the danger. Nicely done, Aubameyang. That's a wonderful ball to the right-hand side. The diagonal pass has been picked up, and a chance for them. Oh, lovely touch as well. Openda trying to get himself the ball across. Has been pulled across. Over the left-hand side, there was someone spare. And I think that it was Bouanga who could have taken that pass there. And it would have been a completely different scenario altogether.
Yeah.
Again, the ball comes across and it's headed away. Danger in the Cameroon defence. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Mbeumo gets the ball back, and they will try and send it up field. Well, that was another intense moment as we saw what Gabon are capable of doing.
Yep.
And just shaking things up a little bit, Amanda.
Yep. I think we anticipated that coming into the second half, that they would throw everything at Cameroon, changing tactics as well, changing personnel, but also just Aubameyang coming in. And of course Mario, I think it just lifted the spirits of the Gabon players, and now they certainly really want to keep chasing the game.
Gabon, when you listen to the words of Thierry Mouyama in the press conference yesterday, it's all about, we want to get through to the semi-finals, we want to take it a step further. And of course, being only the second coach from Gabon to lead the Panthers at an Africa Cup of Nations after Alain da Costa Suarez, of course, who was the man at the helm in 1996 when they got to the quarterfinals. He's on a mission, and they're on a mission, but they've got to find an answer, and they've got to get themselves a goal to get themselves back into this. But fabulous atmosphere here in Agadir. In this wonderful part of the world. Dong into the middle. There's Mario. He's really playing quite deep at the moment. He's the kind of player you want to push forward a little bit. He's got wonderful attributes as a defensive midfielder, but you just want him to light it up a little bit more as they move forward. But I think it's just because of the structure of this Cameroon defence that they're not being able to unleash some of the talent that they want in midfield, because they're being locked down a little bit.
They need a little bit of more movements. They need to sort out whether they're going with the three-man midfield in terms of a triangle, or they're going with the double pivots, 2 6s sitting, so that allow a little bit of space, but also the angles in terms of just the triangles and the passing angles. You need to have options in and around the ball. Yeah,
and I think that Onana's come in to replace Baleba, and he's keeping an eye on Mario to the point where he's not being given too much space, because they know how dangerous he is. They know, what he's done in his career, and he's a wonderful passer of the ball, but playing so deep, you want him to push forward. But then he produces, balls like this, and it finally finds Aubameyang with the shot that just, the shot coming in from Bouanga, who, look at this, and we talk about what he's capable of doing. That came from a little mishap. Wonderful running line there coming from Dennis Bouanga, who comes across, of course, a couple of good options, and finally it's steered high.
Yeah, and that's what Lemina can give you. He's got great vision, good eye for a pass. He weights it quite nicely, but of course, it just becomes very difficult when it gets into those aerial duels. It becomes a 50-50 sort of pass.
And you don't want the 50-50. You want something that's, a little bit more on your side in terms of, just guaranteeing that the delivery is going to be good. You've got players who are so capable of striking the ball so well, given a little bit of space, but you've got to get the delivery there first. Something that they've just been lacking in that final third.
Yeah.
Well, the previously eerie, spooky mist that's been surrounding the stadium has just literally lifted, and now it's a no-nonsense scenario where we want to see some, real action happening on the pitch with 28 minutes left to play. Quilimanga is one of those no-nonsense players, of course. He will clear his lines. Not the right pass. They're giving the ball away too easy. There he is. Another pass going towards Mbeumo that was intercepted. Cameroon getting the ball back. Oh, they're giving the ball away. Danger! Very much danger! Aubameyang! Oh, he just falls off his feet. He sometimes stoops down a little bit too low, but he was racing onto that. That was a giveaway scenario. All he needed to do was stay on his feet and try and get the shot in. You would have really not betted against him getting a shot and getting a goal. But that squared pass basically tells you that things are not going as planned for Cameroon at the moment, as they're about to make a couple of changes as well.
Yep, that was Bwanga, and in that instant, they're making the box entries, and that's most important. They're adding the numbers in that final third. And there's options in and around the ball carrier, and that's what you want to do. Runners, players that are willing to find those spaces.
Shake it up a little bit,
yeah.
Exactly. There's the long ball, it's been cut out once again. And Openda picks it up. Support here from Oyono, the Frosinone player, 29th. Well, 30th match playing for Gabon today. Cleared quite competently. And here he is once again. Lemina. Quilimanga. .5 minutes left to play. Cameroon sitting on a one-goal advantage. Gabon eager to get an equaliser. Putting a little bit more pressure on this Cameroon defence. Just not giving them everything and not allowing them to play in the way that they are hoping at as it stands. As the ball comes to Che Malone. Locking it down a little bit, Amanda. Yeah. That's what they're doing. Here he is, Openda. Little Lorient player with that acceleration. Good ball from Ndong over to the left-hand side. A little bit of space, a chance for a shot. It's lofted into the penalty box. A chance for a header, the pick-up. And the shot comes in Openda, and then finally there's a drive that goes high. And it's Ndong on the edge of the penalty box, quite far out, in fact, a little bit downtown, rather than in the city centre. Well, here we go. Young Frank Magri's going to come on to replace him. And Ebimbe comes on for Manasso. So these are just direct replacements in positions, nothing new. Etta Young, maybe just getting some fresh legs out there for the last 23.5 minutes. Midway through the second half, it will just inject a little bit more energy within this Cameroon team, especially in key positions like that. Namasso's had a fantastic game, working very hard in the midfield. You know, the long strides going through the middle, always kicking up a stink in the defence for Gabon. And then Magri, of course, just replacing a player who's been really working hard. Brian Mbero gets the ball out. He's in the penalty box, waiting for a little bit of support. Intelligently gets the ball back. Oh, that's a high ball over the top, and well, it's been hit into no man's land. Collected at the back by that man, Yongwa. Good work from Maria. That's brilliantly played. Lamina, a little bit of luck to get the ball into the path of Openda. Openda, he goes, well, there's a bit of contact there, of course, from Avalan as he goes. Poco goes down, and the referee not stopping the game momentarily. And picks up. Here's Yongwa. Yongwa gets the ball across. Oh, he's just fallen over as he tried to take and carry that ball forward, but the referee will stop the game momentarily for the injury on Andre Poco. And looks like he's in some pain. Look at that. Oof. Yeah, treading on that right foot as he flies down to the ground. And then this was the effort. Couldn't quite scramble his way through the defence and into the clear. So he tried to find a way through Bruno Ekwelimanga, and normally, I mean, you know, he's described as a brick wall, so you can't get past him.
Yeah, and I mean, in that instance, he does really well. Most defenders will really want to panic. He just stamps his authority, and you as a striker, you panic because you really want to make that box entry. One touch could be very crucial, and I think he's quite experienced to know that you just need to stand your ground and make sure that you don't get a shot on target.
He's a guy who's got the experience, but he's also, you know, got the defensive understanding that shift your body too much, you know, away from in that position where there's quite a crowd of defenders, you know, you will potentially commit a foul. So stand tall, don't shove yourself, but just big yourself up a little bit, and normally, you know, the defender, the forward won't get past you. Did a good job. Which is what he's been doing throughout this game, but the fact is that they are trailing by a goal to nil, and that is the issue for Gabon. And back in action. There's the long ball into the penalty box. Well, I think that the flag goes up for offside over on that far side, and you can just see that Dennis Bouanga just darting off a little bit too quickly behind the last man. We get the, there we go, that's the moment. And on this occasion, I think it's a good call from the linesman.
Yeah, good call indeed.
Saw Zinedine Zidane, who's in Morocco, of course, watching Algeria because his son Luca is the goalkeeper, of course, for the Algerian national team. That's where he's decided to call this a great opportunity. This is picked up here, and the ball comes over. There's players galore. Aubameyang gets the ball out to the right-hand side. There's the shot. It's been pulled across. Too many Cameroon defenders back in position. Needed to go for the earlier shot. Didn't manage to do so. Oyono picks it up at the back.
Good chance for Gabon. And once again, they make those final third entries. But it's just the decisiveness. It's making the right decision in that final third.
Openda's gone for a run, and it's a beautiful run. Oh, it's a great save there from Epassi. Excellent reading of the ball. He saw that there was a gap. He's got the pace, and the delivery was just sumptuous. Just look at this again.
Yeah, this time around, Gabon managed to break that midfield. A good ball behind the defenders. Openda, who else but to run onto it. Epassi also standing his ground. Makes a brilliant save.
Jim Alavino coming on to replace Royce Openda. And Andre Poco is going to go off as well. And Ruben Lufalu's come on. Again, just tactical changes. Not tactical changes, just changes because he wants fresh legs on, but at the same time, you know, you bring on players who can add a little bit of a zip. There's a decent ball, far post, it goes over the shot, wasn't read very well. You've got to go for everything, and I think that, you know, when you've got a player like this man here, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, you've got to even presume that the defender's not going to get onto it, because normally he would have just glided around the back there and just stooped down and made contact with that ball.
Yeah, but also just pin it there, drive it in, slip it through. Defenders are bound to make mistakes, force them into those errors.
That's a good ball, that's a very good ball. It's been picked up by Ibimbe into the penalty box, gets the shot, and it just goes wide. It's going to be a goal kick. There was no contact with the defender. But again, you look at these guys at the back, and they're just doing a sterling job in just blocking and stopping and getting in the way. The trouble is that they still need to find a goal.
Yep, they're defending ever so well. And most teams that really advance in these sort of competitions, if you defend well, you're bound to score a goal. But that's what Gabon really need to do. Not just one goal, but maybe more than one.
There was contact, then there is a corner. Eric Mukatu just getting in the way. Brian Mbumu about to deliver with that little sweet left foot of his into the penalty box. It goes, and no chance for a shot. And a block coming there. It's Magri. He's going to lose possession there. Magri wasn't able to do anything with that, so he gets bumped off his marker and gets the last touch.
Ladies and gentlemen, attendance for today's match is 35,200.
16 minutes left to play. 35,200 in this Adra Stadium tonight. And a corner here for Bumo again. Watch out for Nuhu, watch out for the big guys coming up. Koto's lingering as well at the far post. The ball comes over. Anybody with a header, there's a chance, but it's been dealt with there and picked up by Mbaba. And a bit of contact with him, offering Gabon a free kick at the back. 15 minutes left to play. Are there any more twists in this storyline, Amanda? What do you think?
Well, we're yet to see. It looks like the defensive Cameroon are choosing to go on that 5-3-2 formation, just to really try and block those wide areas for Gabon that want to exploit and give those crosses.
Ball just coming off. Oyono. The governor of Agadir, who's here, of course, supporting this fabulous venue and fabulous tournament, of course. And well, everybody's turning up in Morocco, it seems, at the moment to come and follow the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations 2025. And earlier in the year, of course, we had the Women's Under-17 FIFA World Cup, which is going to be hosted by Morocco for 5 years, so 4 following years, which will lead it perfectly up to 2030, which of course is when we'll see the FIFA World Cup, which will be hosted by Morocco, which is going to be extraordinary. Second time on the continent after South Africa in 2010. And of course, Amanda, we were working together for the Women's Africa Cup of Nations earlier in the year in July, which was fabulous as well. Some brilliant football, and we got to see some incredible action, didn't we, over the course of July?
Yeah, we did. And that final, Nigeria versus Morocco, the greatest comeback in the women's AFCON I've ever seen.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yongwa with a throw-in. Tries to get it into the penalty box. Comes back. There's Frank Magri. Oh, that was knocked back by that man, Mukatu. And out for a corner. Magri just getting in the way. Look at that. Whoa. That could have gone anywhere. He didn't even have time to adjust. But Magri's a danger man, of course. We know all about him and what he's capable of doing. So another corner coming their way. Plays for Toulouse in Ligue 1. Boomer with the corner. Perfectly delivered off the post, off the crossbar and out. Magri, the Toulouse man. Wow, that was so close. A power header. Let's have a look at this again. Look at Magri. He's going to get up for that. It comes, he heads it down. It comes off. It comes off Ikwele Manga. It doesn't. It actually comes off Ekomie. Another corner. Bemo, another header as well. Crikey, Magri has just been making his mark since he came on. That's two direct headers. They've got to really, you know, now's the time to say, guys, why has he been given so much time and space to do that?
He's just finding, because he's such a typical striker, any little bit of space in the box, he knows how to utilize it. He just keeps jumping behind Oyono. That was a second corner.
Just too easy. And Mbumo picks up a yellow card for that challenge on Jim Alavina. A little sneaky bit of contact just to knock him off his balance. And that is, in fact, the first yellow card of this clash here in Agadir. Alavina. Ooh, takes a deflection. Perfectly taken there by Roger Epassi in goal. Jim Alavina has not played much football this since the start of the season. He's been out injured quite a lot, so it's been quite extraordinary that also he's got himself a chance to come onto the pitch. Just gives you an idea of you know, how much bluffing and tactical, you know, tricks are being played by these coaches. Oh yeah, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's never going to play. He'll be back after the new year. Of course he is.
I mean, you can't be playing open cards.
Yeah, it's true. There they go, chance here, and it's just a solid defensive touch there just to clear the danger coming from Samuel Cotto, but wow. Look at the run. Over the top it goes. One touch. Maybe that first touch should have been the touch just to lob the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And that would have been possibly in the back of the net.
Yeah.
And scored there. But Marilamina's the dangerous man. But he couldn't score. He couldn't get his shot in.
Mario's making those deep searching runs. The late runs inside the box. He's interchanging those positions with the top strikers, just to make sure that they confuse the defenders, and that's what you need to see. Gabon just really varying their play, making those box entries, but once again, it's the decision making.
9 minutes to go here in Agadir. Quillen Manga at the back, the captain. Ball comes out wide. Oyono with Alavina. A player for Angers, Don, looking for movement. Alavina, he's got that wonderful ability. Oh, he's just showed a little loss of control there, and then foul committed. Cameroon pick up possession. And there's Onana, has just treads on his foot there. Mufulu. Look at that. That's the Magri header, number 1. And we'll probably get to see the second one. Look at that.
And they all just keep being placed at the same spot. And Oyono's not dealing with it. And the captain is saying this is the second time.
Yeah, but he's got the right to say that.
Yeah.
You've got to be keeping, you've got to be hugging that guy and stopping him from doing the same things, you know, twice in a row. It's the last thing that a coach wants to see. It's the last thing that a captain wants to see.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like it came off Yonghua, but it's Cameroon who will get possession. The Lorient player. 10th cap playing for Cameroon. Magri. Free kick. A little bit of holding there. And a chance here for Cameroon to try and light up the sky once again with another goal. Oyono commits the foul. Look at that shirt pulling. Pretty blatant, I think, Commander.
Yeah. This is it. Those duels, very combative, physical duels as well. But of course, the number 9 does really well just to protect the ball. And like you said, just to calm things down a little bit, just to control the tempo, break that play.
Magri has been dangerous in the air.